Let's start with mantra. Om Vang me manasi pratishthitam mano me vachi pratishthitam avirāvirma edi vedasyama anistha shrutam me ma prahasi anena dhitena horatran samdadhami ritam vadishyami satyam vadishyami tanmamavatu tadvaktaramavatu avatu mam avatu vaktaram avatu vaktaram. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. It's interesting that in this mantra there's kind of uninterrupted consciousness has to be established over days and nights, over time. Because time is that unity, and time is the factor of uniting all the forces into the meaningful stream of energy, consciousness. And so if we gather all our consciousness of the truth, expressing the truth in time, we gain a totally new quality. This is the only way to get to that quality, is to continue it in time. You remember this film, Lucy, funny film, where she wants to find out what to do from the professor. She calls him and professor answers her on the phone. She says, I'm kind of colonizing my brain very quickly, so I learned to manage some electrical energies and so on and so forth. And what should I do? I do not know what to do. My knowledge is growing so fast. And he tells her, the only thing what species were to do is to pass it on in time. And she takes this word time. Yes, I understand. Time is the unity. So this is her answer. Very interesting answer. Time is unity. It is that which holds everything together in a meaningful, unfolding fashion. And so we have to give it time. Time is the third factor of knowledge and realization in Sri Aurobindo's synthesis, as you remember. Yes? There is Guru, there is Shastra, Guru, and time. Time is our major factor, which will do the service to us if we want to. So I will project the hymn. Just these are the allusions coming from the mantra pronounced. So here we stopped number 8. So 8, 9, 10, and 11. Yeah, 4 more verses. Daivya hotara prathamani rinje. Sapta prikshasach svadhaya madanti ritam shamsanta ritam itte ahu anuvratam vratava didhyanach.
Sorry, Vladimir, but I think we didn't do 7 also.
We didn't.
Yeah, I haven't marked it. Generally, I mark the passages.
All right, let's do
Sorry
7.
about the
Oh,
interruption.
very good, very good. I thought somehow we did, because I did it already in my mind a few times. So, Adhvaryubhih panchabhih saptavi prach vipriyam rakshante nihitam padam veh prancho madanti ukshano ajuryach devach devanam anuhivrataguh. 7 illumined seers guard the 5 priests of the pilgrim rite, the beloved seat of the being that is set within. Moving forward, the imperishable bulls take joy. The gods move according to the law of the workings of the gods. With 5 Adhvaryus, the 7 Vipras protect the beloved hidden place of the soul. Turned ever forward, the creators rejoice who never get old. The gods move on in accordance with the laws of the gods. With 5 Adhvaryus, the 7 Vipras protect the beloved hidden place of the soul. So we have 7 Vipras. Vipra is from root vip, from vepas and so on. It's to tremble in ecstasy, to have the ecstatic sense of bliss, blissful ecstasy. Those who are in the blissful ecstasy, 7 of them, together with those Adhvaryus, the pilgrim priests which provide the journey of the soul. You can imagine who are they, 5. There are 5 levels to Anandamaya, Purusha, yes. Or there are 5 Pancha Agni, system of the Kshatriyas, but I don't think this is this Pancha Agni Vidya system. Pancha Agni Vidya has also a journey, yes, from the earth to the moon and back to earth. So we have this journey of sacrificial journey, which is actually stirring here on earth all the elements of the spirit and all the contributions of the devatas necessary for making this, new being born, this cocktail of the matter charging it with spirit. And this Panchagni Vidya, we looked into it when we studied Aitareya Upanishad. Panchagni Vidya is mentioned in Brihadaranyaka, in Chandogya. It is actually Chandogya's knowledge of the Kshatriyas, of Raja Rishis, which was not the knowledge of Brahmins for some reason. So it is the kings which taught this knowledge to the Brahmins. So this is the journey that Mother actually refers to it also. How we are born in this physical form here. There are 5 fires into which the soma oblation is made, yes? First is the fire of our own food digestion. So we take food as soma and put it onto the fire, and that generates the being, our life, yeah? That food offering. Then there is the seed of man, which is offered into the fire of a woman, that generates the being. And then the being is put into the fire of the cremation fire, samadhi, at the end of his life. And then his soul travels to this is the 3rd fire, to the moon. And from the moon, once he is totally naked, once he offered all his experiences and impressions from this life, all the soma gaining to the devatas, then he comes back as an oblation of Parjanya onto the fire of the earth. First onto the space and then onto the earth, and he becomes a food. So these are 5 fires, and that food is again taken by man, and again the seed is produced, and so this is the rotation which we have to fulfill. It is between us and the moon, within this Panchagni Vidya, so to say, within this closed circle in the universe, that we are constantly offering soma to the 5 flames, and by that there is a progress made. There is a growth of the capacity of the being. And these could be also Adhvaryas, because it belongs properly to Yajurveda, and Adhvarya is the priest of Yajurveda and of the Pitriyana, of the Pitris. So there is Devayana, the growth of the soul and its capacity, and there is Pitriyana, the growth of the being, of the bodies, of the physical, vital and mental bodies here. So these panchabhih, advaryubhih, together with these 7 vipras. 7 vipras are these luminous divine selves, yes, present throughout. The divine is present on each level, on the Annamaya Purusha, Pranamaya Purusha, and so on. So with these 7 luminous, they protect the beloved hidden place of the vech, of the bird, literally, of the one who flies. There is someone there within the cave of the heart who can fly, and that is our soul. Beloved seat of the being that is set within. So this is the symbolism of the Veda, which is very loaded with meanings. And once we are kind of aware of those symbols and all those texts, and we thought about them and we discovered them within our own activities of the being, they are kind of triggered here in this mantra and become activated in our understanding of the whole process, of the dynamism of the Pitriyana and Devayana. And all the gods are the divine powers of these forces, are moving in accordance with their own laws of existence. They are all doing their work properly. Pranchach, towards the future, towards the east they move. Those who never get old and take joy, as Shrivinda says, imperishable bulls take joys, they rejoice, Madanti. They are intoxicated by this ongoing sacrifice or oblation of soma. They are partaking of every possible experience here and rejoice in this building up the divine manifestation. Very complex and beautiful vision. And then, Daivya Hotara, 2 divine Hotars are mentioned next. You remember those 2 Hotars? We had the whole hymn on these Avirdhane, on 2 foundations of the offering. There is one Hotar, uninvolved sun above, and there is another Hotar, involved sun within. So Daivya, divine Hotaras, two Hotars, I crown, Nirinje. I crown the two supreme priests, Daivya Hotara Prathama Nirinje Sapta Prakshasach, Svadhaya Madanti, again Madanti, Ritam Shamsantach, Ritam Itte Ahuch, Anuvratam Vratava Didhyanach. He cannot get out of that hook. Vishwamitra, he's on the hook of this Madanti, of those first 7 Vipras, because those Vipras are trembling in ecstasy, 7 of them. And together with Adhavaryas, which provide our journey in the body, they build the whole, ecstatic universe. And he continues, but there are 2 Hotars also, who are original first. I crown them. I crown the 2 supreme priests of invocation, Hotara, those who are summoning all the divine forces. The 7 pleasures take their rapture by the self-law of the nature. Amazing, eh? So those 7 Vipras, they generate these 7 prikshasach, 7 mixtures or 7 pleasures, mixtures of the spirit and matter. And these are the pleasures. The 7 pleasures on each level take their rapture by the self-law of their nature. It's amazing. The truth they express, the truth only they speak, guardians of the law of its action according to that law that they shine. Yeah, once we have the entry, even small entry to this symbolism or to these ideas, the text is playing very differently than we don't have the entry. We need to have the keys to open the locks. So the divine Hotars, 2 priests of invocation I crown for the realization in myself. Okay, they want me this. 7 mixtures. These prikshasa is the mixture, are happy by their own establishment. The mixture of the spirit and nature. These 7 mixtures are actually delighted or rejoicing by their own nature, because the spirit is there and the manifestation of that spirit in the form, in time and space is there. So both of them are interacting. Both of them, actually that's why nature is so full of delight and joy. Nature itself is joy. Living life is bliss in a way, because it is happy by its own establishment. As Sri Aurobindo would say, take their rapture by the self-law of their nature. So in that very nature there is the joy, because the spirit is mixed into it. The truth they express, Ritam Shamsanta, they express the dynamic truth. It is to the truth they give their voices, Ritam Itte Aho. And as the protectors of the laws of action, Vratava, they reveal themselves, or shine, they shine, in accordance with the law they protect. So they protect a particular formation of action here in time and space, and by that law they shine, they reveal themselves. That is the way how they manifest, self-manifestation. And these mixtures are making nature conscious. Nature is conscious because there is spirit within it. I can read Griffith if you want. I crave the grace of heaven's two chief invokers, the seven swift steeds' joy in their wonted manner. These speak of truth, praising the truth eternal, thinking on order as the gods of order. Close. Interestingly, Sri Aurobindo translates Nirinje, I crown. I also took crown. Nirinje literally I attain, overpower, subdue, or reach. But he uses this like I crown. Very, very intuitive reading of this root. Literally what it says, I put down the higher truth upon me, upon them, upon him. I make the higher truth descend upon, and Sri Aurobindo says, I crown the Supreme. So he found the way to translate it without going into the techniques of explaining the root. Vrishayante mahe atyaya purvih, vrishne chitraya rashmayach suyamach, deva hota, mandrataraschikitvan, mahodevan rodasi ehavakshi. The many rays, well governed in their course, grow passionate for the great horse, the many-hued bull. The divine priest of the call, rapturous, awaking to knowledge, bring here the great gods and earth and heaven. Desiring and seeking the great courser, Vrishayante Atyaya, for the courser they are, the many rays of knowledge, Purvih Rashmayach, that are well-governed Suyamach, aspiring for the Creator who is luminous, Chitraya Vrishne. O God Hotar, literally, O God, O Hotar, O Divine Hotar. Interesting, O God Hotar. This is beautiful because the Hotar who is invoking the divine powers is also a god. The god is invoking the gods. O God Hotar, the most blissful one and conscious, Chekitvan, Mandratarach, the most mantra, the most blissful and the most conscious. Bring here the great Godheads, Mahodevan, great Godheads. Ehavakshi, bring here, and two luminous firmaments, heaven and earth. Now, I was wondering today morning, this is my morning kind of reflection. How can one bring here heaven and earth? Kind of sounds contradictory. Bring here heaven and earth. Especially, how can one bring the earth here if we are on earth already? What is this question about? It is about bringing them both here on earth. Not one, not heaven only, or not earth, because we are here, together in harmony. It means a new earth charged with the spirit of heavenly light. Transformed earth, bring here. This earth was here was not here on earth yet, this earth, but it is wanted and asked for by the Rishi. He wants a new earth, the spiritual earth. Bring to us the spiritual earth. These are the Rodasi, the luminous firmaments. Then number 10. Prikshaprayajaro Dravinach suvachach Suketavach Ushasorevad Ushuch Utochit Agni Mahina Prithvivyach Kritamchit Enach Sammahedashasya. The swift-running dawns have shone opulently, bringing us our satisfactions. With their true speech, their rays of intuition. And do thou, O fire, by the greatness of the earth, cut away for the vast, even the sin that has been done. Sri Aurobindo translates Dashasya as cut. It's quite interesting because Damshruti is to bite away, yes, to also separate. From here we have Dash as to give, also it's an extended root from Da, to give, to cut, and from here we have Dasyu, those separating powers of the darkness. And the one who sacrifices us. But Dashasya, it doesn't have that meaning in the dictionary. It has the meaning of, you can see here, I put it here, to accord, to favor, to worship, to oblige, to serve, to render service. So my interpretation is this, Orevat. Though there is no Orevat, this is not vocative case, but I put it, splendid substance, Dravinach Revat. The dawns have shone upon and illumined you, O splendid substance. The dawns illumine the splendid substance. You remember we asked him to bring the heaven and earth on earth, transformed earth. And how it is done? It is done by the dawns which are shining and illumining that hidden divinity in the matter, by their perfect rays of intuition. This is the process how transformation of matter takes place. Suketavach, you, the dawns, who are with perfect rays of intuition, with their perfect expressions of consciousness, suvachach, with perfect words, sacrificing towards the perfect mixture moving forward, priksha, prayajach. Priksha is that prikshasach from previous mixtures, the 7 mixtures of the spirit and nature. And these priksha prayajach, interesting word, moving forward in the sacrifice for these mixtures, making them more and more what they are meant to be. Interestingly, in this way that evolution is taking place not only on the physical plane, but on all the mixtures, so to say, on all the planes where spirit and nature are mixed. There is a constant, ongoing evolution taking place. So they become more and more capable of embodying the infinite. And you, O Agni, by the greatness of earth, cut away the evil imperfection from us for the vastness. Cut away that narrowness, enas. kritam chit enach. And even if that narrow, temporarily not divine action is done, sammahe, for the completeness of the greatness, dashasya, cut it off. That's how Sri Aurobindo translates. I add here that sammahe dashasya can be also translated as make part or favorable for the greatness. Everything which was done small, narrow, make part of that greatness. So we can understand it as take our sin committed and use it for the growth of consciousness. And the last verse of this hymn, and I will stop. Ilam Agni Purudam Sam Saningo Shashvatamam Havamanaya Sadha Syat Nach Sunuch Tanayo Vijava Agne Sate Sumatich Bhutu Asme. This is the refrain. It was in the previous hymn the same. O fire, achieve at my call the revealing speech, the many-actioned, the lasting conquest of the light. May there be for us a son of our begetting, pervading in his birth. O fire, may there be created in us that true thinking of thine. We read it in the previous hymn also. All right, I will stop here. And if we have any ideas, want to share something, clarify, please.
I have a couple questions, Vladimir. In, I think, verse 7, the 5 priests, you mentioned 2 things. You thought it was not one but the other. And I'm confused about which. The one I thought you said it was not it is the one you went into. So I just need some clarification about the 2 possibilities for the 5 priests.
Right. Well,
whether Pancha Agni.
yes,
Yeah.
Panchagni Vidya, yes, the knowledge of 5 fires. It is this, yes, the bubble in which we live and build the body is suitable for the spirit. Yeah, it's all about this transformation of nature by the spirit, and it has to be done within these 5 oblations. Yes, this is the knowledge of kshatriyas, of the divine kshatriyas, not the Brahmins. And 7 priests most probably is the knowledge of the Brahmins. I have to say, believe so, at least for now.
So I just misunderstood when you said you didn't think it was that.
Well, I didn't think because in the Rigveda, the knowledge of kshatriyas is hardly possible to find, yes? So we find it for the first time in Chandogya, because Chandogya is kshatriya's Upanishad, by the way. It's a very rare Upanishad. We never read it. It has an even different language. You cannot recognize it anymore. It's just shifting it into some other tradition which was there. But if we to speak, then maybe 7 planes of consciousness transcendental and 5 of this, which are here, 5 koshas, also possible to interpret, because 5 koshas are for the sacrifice. That's why Adhavarius, who belong to Yajurveda, to Yajus, to the constant transformative process of the nature. And 7 vipras are actually 7 planes of consciousness, yes, from the top down. It's 7 divine presences, as it were, not the journey, not the transformative journey. So these two, if they are looked together, that's why the 7 Vipras together with 5 together with them. Yeah. So not other way around.
The other thing I wanted to mention is that when it says bring heaven and earth here, my first thought was that was the 2 otars, that was the sun above and the sun below.
Yeah, well, bring them both, yes, because 2 hotars are, one is below, another is above, yes. One is within the earth, another is within the heaven, is it fair? Yes. So most probably the 2 luminous firmaments are because of them there. Yes, they become luminous. These 2 hotars are illumining them or making them more and more divine. And so there is a prototype of them in the supermind of these 2 luminous firmaments, which has to be established here, as he says, bring it here, which means literally bring the supermind here.
Thank you.
Yeah, otherwise it doesn't make sense, bring earth and heaven here. Yeah? So if how can you bring earth here on earth? Yeah? But it's another earth. It's earth we never had. Right, okay. That's it, I guess. I guess we are too luminous, too flaming, too everything, yes, so there is nothing left to refer to with our black and white mentality. Where is the difference? There is no difference anymore. Very difficult to
flamed out.
Huh?
We flamed out.
Flamed out, yes. Kindled.
So I have a couple of questions, actually.
Oh,
They're kind
so
of
interesting.
Selby kind of got me thinking. So do you think, I've heard reference before that there's an internal sun, as in our subtle bodies? Could there ever be a reference to that, or can we think about, when you think about the sun that's, I don't know, plunged through the darkness, or I don't know, that it is
Involved,
as we become more luminous or make more of our darknesses conscious, would that also have some effect on, I mean, could that be a reference? Could those two be synonymous or related in some way?
Yeah. Yes, absolutely. These 2 suns, one involved, another uninvolved yet, yeah? Transcendental to us. They have to be both here, so to say. They are actually reaching out to one another through this bubble in which we are. And by that they illumine from one side our nature, and our spirituality has to be also illumined. They both are working on 2 ends, and they reach out. This Indra and Agni. Indra is the action from above, and Agni is from below. Aspiration and answer to aspiration. These 2 movements of the divine hotars are there. Yes, and they are because there are 2 suns, so to say. One is involved, another is uninvolved, which is called upon to be involved from above. One sun is from above, other sun is from below. In the nature it is also like this. We have sun above our heads, and we have the sun within the earth. Yeah, that the core of the earth is the sun. Even physically is there. So we are actually on the top of the sun. And we are under the sun. We are in between two suns. And these are two luminous rhodases. They have to become luminous. Maybe not physically, because then we will be only fire everywhere, but spiritually.
And then the other question that I had is, as things evolve, does there have to be a systematic approach? Or when you talk about the panchakoshas and the 7 levels, does it have to be hierarchical where you start at the bottom and work your way, or could it be different than that?
Well, it's the mind is thinking like this. Yes, we are using the mind, and so we can't be without it. So if we remove totally the mind, we will know nothing about it at all. So we will just not even speak about it. We will just live as nature lives and be that what the mind now is expressing. Yeah? So what we are doing, we are trying to bridge the inner and outer consciousness with the help of the mind, yeah, with the help of this thought concept. So we are constantly kind of building bridges. And if we feel that the bridge is effective, that means our consciousness is changing, then it is fine. If it is not, then it is not fine. It's just a blah, 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 blah. And there is a lot of blah, blah in the world today. People speak things which are not building bridges. They are not really helpful. They are just some, passages to somewhere else, astray, away from where we have to go. Well, it's also useful in some way, as nature is doing it anyhow. So we will be used by nature as natural phenomena. We become the mechanism of nature. So nature is using us as compost, which is fine. I'm not saying that it should not be that done, but more can be done. We can build bridges also. And the Veda here is this bridge. It helps us to rethink everything, all those basics which we take for granted in a spiritual manner. Like sun and wind and rain and word and light, yes, and the priests and mind and vital and physical. Two luminous firmaments, heaven and earth, dawns. They bring the light and they charge the whole thing. They change it, yes. All these mixtures, they make them, how they say, Ushasach. Yes, they illumine the Revat. They illumine the hidden treasures within the nature. And these hidden treasures are actually the divine presence. And so when the dawn, the illumination in our consciousness comes, it reveals to us those hidden treasures within the nature. It illumines them, and we see that the nature is not only the nature. It's the divine being here, yes, manifesting itself. And this is the discovery. But it comes with the dawns. And the dawns are those answers to our aspiration of the flame. Our fire has to be kindled and called to them. And they answer, they come to him, the dawns. And he approaches the dawn as the beggar for delight. He begs for more delight in this manifestation. Bhikshamana, they say, he is begging for delight. So we are all begging here for more divine delight. Give us more. And that is the bridge. When the bridge is built, you feel the delight. If we don't feel the delight from these studies, I do not know what we do here then. Trying to understand. But the moment we understand, the delight is coming. Interesting that understanding is the cause of the delight. The delight is the only way to know whether we are on the right track or the understanding is right or not. And it's very subtle. It's not this gross delight, pleasure. It's not a pleasure. It's some kind of ecstasy. Madanti, that's why they always use these words. Yeah? Mandra, madanti. Madanti means actually ecstatic delight. It's a very subtle ecstasy within. I think we are all looking for this. Otherwise, why we are here is... As Sri Aurobindo says, the whole world is only for this. We are born from the bliss, we are living by bliss, and we are going into bliss, as Taittiriya would say. All the creatures are coming from bliss, live by bliss, and go into bliss. The bliss is the passage, and the goal, and the means, and the outcome, and the source. And his mother says that all this creation was created for generation of additional delight, additional ananda. We want more ananda, ananda of unity, not only ananda of identity, which we have, which is granted, but ananda of unity is not granted. It has to be gained through manifestation. And the knowledge is the passage. The truth is the corridor to the bliss hall, the hall of bliss. And the truth is the corridor, the passage, the door to the bliss. Somewhere Sri Aurobindo has an aphorism on it. Yeah? The truth is the means to reach to immortality, to the bliss and immortality. Even immortality is the passage to the bliss. Bliss is the what we are looking for. And bliss is the fullness of his own self-awareness. Once he is totally self-aware, the bliss is absolute. So there is no end to it. That's in another word. There is always more bliss to gain. Yeah? Okay, we finished today the hymn. We will start another time, another hymn. Or shall we shift away from Agni? Agni is already kind of... You already learned quite a lot, yes? How many hymns we covered? Millions of hymns. Shall we go to some other deity? To the sun, for example. More light. The hymns to the sun are marvelous. Even more fundamental than to Agni. More luminous. Or to the dawn. Shall we go to the hymns to the dawn, to Usha? The most beautiful poetry, actually, in the whole Rigveda, are the hymns to the dawn, because these are hymns to the Divine Mother. Anyhow,
But if you're looking for input, I'd be fine with either of those.
So would I. They both sound wonderful.
Yeah, they both sound.
all right, we will take then Savitar, all those Savitri hymns.
Mm.
Surya
Okay.
Savitri. There are 12 hymns in the Rigveda. We will all cover them. Only 12. To Agni, there are 200, I think, 228 or something. And to Indra, 260 hymns. But to Surya Savitri is only 12.
They're not in this book, no? Hymns to the Mystic Fire.
No, I
No.
will have to bring it from
Okay.
elsewhere.
Okay.
But some of them Sri Aurobindo translated to Surya, yes. I think 2 of them he translated.
Mm.
Okay, then we close with the mantra.
Vladimir,
Yeah.
I just had a thought that in the secret of the Veda, he takes up 1 or 2 of the hymns for each deity. And
Mhm.
so it starts with the first one, then it goes on to Varuna Mitra, then he goes on to the Angirasas or whatever. I'm making a mistake, but could we follow that order, do you think?
Yeah, we can choose whatever we want. Yes, sure. And there's all the translations. It makes my life easier if you want to.
No,
did
in future, if we were to read Secret of the Veda chapter by chapter, then it would make our life easier also, actually,
yes,
if we
absolutely.
had those words.
Yeah, there is so much there. We need to come back to the secret of the Veda, because it will give you so much food for thought and everything else. And we need to know Sri Aurobindo's language also. Yes.
Mm.
All right. I will see how we will do this. We will start with we will not go to Agni again, because there he is starting with Agni. We will do something else. Maybe Surya Savitri with 1 or 2 hymns, and then we come to the secret of the Veda.
Right.
Or maybe immediately. I do not know yet. Let me see.
Do it after Surya Savitri, there's no problem. But somewhere on the path, if we.
Sure. But you want to go through these also the articles, through the chapters?
No,
No?
not through the chapters, but at least the hymns they refer to in the Secret of the Veda, in
There
that
is
order.
there is another group which is gathering under this Aurochit, Selby is there. There they started Agni and the Truth. It was suggested by Shobhik to read, so we started already this. But I think the most important are not so much devatas, because it's really bewildering. Without knowing the devatas, for you it will be everything sounding like Agni, yes? Everything is luminous, everything is doing something.
Okay.
What we did in IPI for years, we did a very good exercise. We took one deity for a long time. Why we took Agni for so long? Because we have to get the sense of what it is. And then shift to another deity, like we did the studies of Maruts for a year and a half. Only Maruts, until we are totally aware. And then we shift to Ashwins, and we did Ashwins for 1 year. And it gives you a sense of what is this Devata about. Otherwise, it's very difficult to see because it's all from the higher mind. And in the higher mind, they share the same qualities. They share the same, what do you call it, faculties, yes? And because they share them in the sacrifice, you just don't distinguish. Our mind is not made for this. Our mind is black and white. And there it is all shades of light, yeah? So in that sense, to start distinguishing them, recognizing their properties and their presences and personalities, we need longer time for each devata. Yeah, and separately, like we know what we are doing and then shift, and that shift will be very tangible. Yeah? If we now shift to Surya, we will see the shift, yeah? Because we were in Agni too long. Yeah? We already established some understanding of Agni. Or we move to Indra, it will be very, very tangible shift, yeah? In experience also. So these are good ideas to do, to follow. So we start with Surya Savitri, and then we can take Varuna Mitra,
Right.
because these are all Surya's faculties behind Surya. There's Mitra, Varuna, Yaman, Bhaga, all these. We take one by one, all the Adityas and Aditi and Adityas. So we will dedicate ourselves to this sun god, yeah? Suppose, if we want to. And then there are more things here. There is the dawn, and the dawn and the sun are related, so we will see the relation. So we can, and then Ashwins, and Ashwins are related to the dawn and the sun. Yeah? So we will see their relations. But it is not, because Veda is not explaining things. The Veda is just dealing with these devatas as if we know them. You know? It doesn't try to philosophize or to kind of give us the instruction of what it is. It refers to them as if they are there. So that's why we have to figure out by ourselves, with the help of Sri Aurobindo. All right, we will do the Surya Savitri. We will take, Sri Aurobindo, I think, translated this hymn to Savitar. Okay, I will close the mantra. Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinaha Sarve Santu Niramayaha Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu Ma Kaschit Dukkha Bhag Bhavet. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om.
Mm.
Namaste.
Very well.